Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Amanda Nicole and I'd like to share a little bit of plant medicine with you. I'm actually wanting to sort of give a shout out to one of my dearest plant allies, which is Violet. The little plant that you might find if you just walk out into your yard. She would have heart-shaped leaves and a little purple flower. Sometimes the flower can be white with a little touch of purple in the center. She's sweet, cooling, salty. I love her. She's been an ally for probably a decade or more. And the way that I most offer her to others as medicine is for the throat, particularly for the voice. So some of you have probably heard me say before that Violet helps you find your voice. But I don't think that that can be said too many times because so many of us are in need of finding our voice. It's been taken away from us. We've been silenced in some way, in some measure, over and over again. And so there are things that we're afraid to say. There are things that we don't know how to say. There are things that get stuck in our throat. We can feel it, like there's a plug or a block there, or when we talk about, getting choked on the words. But for some of us, there are things that we have to say or maybe sing that are even further down. We're not even conscious of them yet in our throats, they're in our hearts. And Violet is an ally for the heart that is sad, the heart that is feeling anxiety, the heart that is grieving. But for some of us, the songs, the words are even further down. So Violet is also a friend of our sacred space, of our root, because there we have quite a powerful voice. So in all the ways that we may need to speak, Violet is a friend to us. I'm just giving a minute to sort of feel her and see where I want to go next. So for myself, I grew up singing. I grew up singing with my dad, who played the guitar, and he would sing, songs that we all might know, like You Are My Sunshine, which I now sing to my children. And I also would sing with him songs that he would write. He would compose songs with his guitar. He even had at least one played on the radio, and I remember the check that he received for that sort of being in a frame in the hallway in the house. But I would also sing with my mom, who played the piano, and where my dad would sing songs that were more like country or folk or what we might think of as like classic rock, my mom would sing gospel and four-part harmony. And so I would be with my mom at the piano, and sometimes my mom and my sister, and we would sing at the piano harmony to all sorts of gospel songs and hymns, and I loved it. I loved singing with the piano. I loved singing with the guitar. I loved singing with other people. I loved singing in parts. It just really did so much for my heart. And at the time, I didn't realize how much medicine I was receiving from that. I also sang in the choir at church, and I sang in the choir at school, and I'd ride around in the car and the radio would be on and I'd sing with that. And sometimes I would drive my mom crazy because I would turn up the radio, or I'd have maybe a cassette tape, maybe a CD. Can't recall if I was playing CDs then or it was just cassette tapes, and have a song on repeat, play it over and over and over again and sing with it at the top of my lungs. But I love to sing. And then I grew up and I became an adult and I ended up being part of a religious group, a Christian denomination that didn't really view music in that way. So most churches, as you know, would have a choir and special singing and congregational singing. That's, religious, what they would call worship music. But then outside of church, the people are still singing. They're listening to whatever music they enjoy. That's a different genre. But in this particular group, it was thought that the only songs, the only music that should be in a church service are the Psalms. And I do love the Psalms, but I like other songs too. And that the Psalms could only be sung in a certain way, the translation of which was written in the 1600s, and the tunes could only be from that time period, and there could be no musical instruments. And so there was no piano, no organ, no guitar, no anything. And then only the Psalms, and only in that translation, in that meter, and only with those tunes. So no more hymns, no more gospel, no more parts, anything like that. It does have the potential to be beautiful. I love to hear a cappella music, a cappella singing, especially when there's parts. Because when I've heard it done and done well with a large group of people, you don't even notice that there aren't any instruments because the human voice is the instrument and all of the parts come into play, and it's really beautiful. But in this particular setting, that's not the way that it was working out. It was a little difficult, even though we tried. But outside of the church services, there wasn't much music either because other genres of music were considered, what we would say sinful or forbidden. And it was thought that these songs would take your heart away from being connected to God. And I really struggled with all of that. Even though at the time I said, yes, okay, I think that's what is being required by God or by the divine. I missed music. And so sometimes when I was up late at night by myself folding laundry, I would listen to music and I would sing. And we had a piano and I would play on it, but not too much singing. And I just missed it. And so there was a lot that was being offered that was saying essentially singing is bad, and especially composing your own songs and your own music to the divine because you are not inspired. That's what was offered. So there's been a lot of work with that, along with so many other ways that my voice has been told, shh, stop talking. A lot of ways that has happened. And so I've been doing a lot of work with Violet. And suddenly I was part of people and, church groups where I could sing again. And I could sing gospel if I wanted, or I could sing what they call worship music if I wanted, or I could sing country, or I could sing bluegrass, or I could sing rock, or I could sing. And so I started finding my voice again. And then songs started to come, my own songs that I would write, the lyrics and the tunes. And some of them I began to, play on the piano a little bit. If you follow me on Instagram or if you're part of my Patreon, then maybe you've heard some of those songs. But I'm going to sing one of them here for you. And I'm not going to be able to play the piano with it because the piano is in another room. That is a room that is not YouTube friendly because of the lighting and whatnot. But maybe I can record it and maybe I could share it down below. Or if you'd like to join my Patreon, it'll definitely make its way to there because I know how to load files and that sort of thing in that space. It'll also have a lyric sheet. The songs that I share there not only have the music but the lyrics. But I want to sing this one. It's just feeling like it wants to be shared and wanting to be shared in a different way than I've shared some of the other songs, which is simply, playing and singing and making a video. But this song felt like it needed a backstory to it, and it needed to have Violet mentioned and the good medicine that Violet has been in beginning to sort of like woo my voice out and tell my voice the tunes and the words, it's safe to come out. And the divine actually really does love your voice. And the divine wants to hear the words of your heart, the prayers of your heart, the feelings of your heart. Others may want and need to hear them too. This is what the voice is for, is to communicate to the divine, to the other, to the self. And as we sing, it goes out into the world. It's vibrational. And so we create waves and we create medicine. So I'm going to sing it for you. It's very simple. Dear divine, sing through me. Dear divine, let me be your voice, your Dear divine, sing through me. Dear divine, let me be your voice, your lips, your breath that's breathed. Dear divine, sing through me. I want to sing it one more time. Is that okay? 3 is like a good number. Dear divine, sing through me. Dear divine, let me be your voice, your lips, your breath that's breathed. Dear divine, sing through me. Thank you, Violet. It's so good to have music again. And I pray that that prayer, that invocation, will be heard, not only for myself, but for you if your heart prays the same prayer, if that draws out something that you desire to. And I pray that all of us will find our voices finding their ways up and out into the world, because we need the healing, we need the music, we need the vibration, and we need the creative word making a new earth, a new world. Okay, bye.